crafting update notes of what's coming soon, bug fixes in progress, and Mechshaw heroics and Onderon dailies. These topics and more coming up on this episode of the Escape Podcast for Star Wars The Old Republic. Our broadcast astromech today is EPC 318. And playing alongside me is Seema. Hi, Seema. How's it going? It's a good day to be
Hi,
a
Max.
Mandalorian, isn't it? Would you agree?
Yes, it is. I would agree. Yes, it is. You're right. I'm wearing my Mandalorian outfit from last week because I just love it so much. And also, you know, like you said earlier, because the Mandalorian
Because
show
the
is just so
Mandalorian is so
awesome.
good.
Yeah. Um, but in the world of SWTOR, I just want to say tonight this week for MFN we rampaged. We did 3 different rampages, so we got something like, I don't know, almost 800,000 conquest points for the guild doing that, and personal conquest basically for everyone who came along. So that was a fun night, because a night of rampaging is a pretty stress-free night, and it's usually just acting out and chatting and running around and complaining and stuff like that. So it was fun. And then tonight we had our own ops team. We went and did the Ravagers because we're still gearing up. We are not all Trescientos like you are.
Yes, I am in the Trescientos club now. And if you are not, please,
Stand aside.
I'm gonna have to.
So yeah, I got 2 or 3 points of gear level tonight in Ravagers, and it was just fun because it just went really smoothly. The first we did random ops first, and we got the Hive of the Queen of the Mountain person thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that we've only done like 100 times, so that took no time at all. And then Ravagers, since it doesn't, I don't want to jinx anybody, but doesn't seem to be buggy anymore in the way it used to be, where you had to do the last fight over and over and over again. So everything that I haven't gotten over that when it works great, it feels good,
Right.
So Ravagers. Also worked a little bit on my power tech that I'm leveling, but mostly I've been concerned with doing stuff for my Merc and loving my little spiky shoulder on her armor.
Yeah, he's gonna smack that right into my face. That's what it's for, right?
Yeah, I'm
And
gonna do like a shoulder
and your
shoulder
little
shove
boot
move.
knife.
And my boot knife, yeah, my boot shiv. So yeah, so how are things going with you, Max?
Well, as you said, Trescientos for me has been sort
Congrats.
of a focus, and since then, and there was a little note in the chat room here along the way. Forster was saying, you sort of get a little bit of the buzz. You sort of come down a little bit
Right.
when when you hit that. I was really feeling that dopamine hit each point, getting up to 306, and you get that very last piece, and you're like, you finally reached the Trescientos club, and it is a little bit of a a little bit of a lesser
Yeah.
driving force once you reach that, but I still feel it, and I feel like I'm definitely going to be busy with what I still want to continue to do through the end of the year. But it's also a little bit freeing too. It's like getting off a wild horse. It was a fun ride, but now you can relax a little bit. And
Right, you don't have to like eagle eye every single thing you get when you're just looking for a few things now.
you don't have to be forcing yourself to do all of the hard things to make sure you get that extra point today, and that kind of thing either, because you're not like all hyped up on it.
Yeah.
Now I'm going after the sets that I want. I'm going after the tacticals that I want. I'm looking at what the amplifiers are. I've been spending time with the Theory Crafter Discord and community, learning about what everybody's sort of discovering about how all these things work together and the synergies. And that's fun too. And that's what's going to drive me. And that's the point. That's the horizontal progression. So now I've got sets picked out for my Power Tech Vanguard for tanking. I've got sets picked out for my for my mercenary, and then I've got a bunch of other sets and tacticals picked out, and I'll talk about that when we get into a little bit later. But I've got a whole watch list, so when like things come up on Kaizyken, I made a note in Discord for people. I said, okay, there's 3 pieces that are sort of on the watch list for good sets that you may want to take a look at. And otherwise, the other pieces are fine, but they're not on like sort of those, here's the best sets list.
Right.
Um,
Right.
but I can now go after those best sets, which is pretty fun. So that, and then the mix of things I've been doing to get there have been the Master Mode Flashpoint still. I've been doing occasional operations. I've been doing Conquest, quite a bit of Conquest on at least 4 or 5 characters. And then I've been doing dailies, which is what we're going to talk about today. So my note is that dailies are interesting and useful, and probably the 3rd most important thing you should be doing on your journey to Trescientos. So we'll get into that a little bit too.
And something you have the most control over too.
Right, and the easiest one to sort of do in between and fill in with, and definitely relax with. So that's a nice thing that we'll be able to talk about. But until we get there, first let's break down a little bit of what the current news is.
Now, an Imperial News Network report.
So we did get a thread on the dev tracker on the forums that talked a little bit about what the upcoming changes are that we're going to see in crafting, which are going to come in December. I'm not overwhelmed by the changes, but I'm whelmed. So I'll say that.
Slightly whelmed.
Yeah, which is okay. It's probably more appropriate for them to tweak it a little bit, and if they need to tweak it further, they can. If they nerfed it to the ground, or if they could really break things if they went too far, so fine. Everything does cost too much, and deconstructing to get schematics the chances are too low, and so a lot of that is a kind of thing is addressed in here. The other thing that's addressed is the ratio is off on the green to blue to purple of the gathered materials, archaeology, scavenging, bioanalysis. The ratios are off for what you need versus what you're getting. They're going to fix that too. So across all of these kinds of changes, I expect it will even things out, and we'll get a little bit closer to what we would want. I'm holding off on doing my deconstruct journey
Quest journey, yeah.
to get the stims that I want and the augments schematics that I want. I'm holding off until this patch comes. So that's where I'm at as far as that goes.
The one comment that I thought was pretty interesting in here is that they did note that they want to incentivize harvesting over crew missions for the gathering skills, which I mean, I'm fine with that. They've just never said that before.
Right. I think that's right.
I love it when
that's appropriate.
I love it when they give us little insights like that.
I always felt like it was prioritized because you have to pay to do the crew mission.
Well, yeah.
And you don't, you just get free stuff if you're picking up a piece of candy off the ground. But
right.
But that is
natural. It's just, but I always just thought of it as 2 different processes. Like, I'll do crew skills while we're doing ops,
but there are people that, even some of the top crafters that we know, like Sakic, almost all of what Sakic does, I think, is just based off of crew missions.
Right.
And I don't know if Sakic ever goes out into the world to gather stuff. I kind of like going out in the world. In fact, I have a character that's designed specifically for that. My Sork is designed. It has archaeology and scavenging and bioanalysis, and just goes out into the world and just sucks everything up.
I like some places better than others, though. So I kind of don't like it if I need a certain thing and I have to go to, not one of my favorite places. But I'm not saying they should redesign the world so that I can go where I want and get the mats I want. But I'm just saying sometimes I prefer to just, go do the laundry and kick off a few crew missions.
That too. And I've been doing tons of crew missions, so I'm not saying that I don't or think that's an inappropriate way. Yeah, I agree. In fact, I stopped doing crew missions so that my companions wouldn't be yelling at us here in the background during the podcast, because they keep
Right.
coming back going, "Yeah, that could have gone worse. Not sure how, but it could have." That's what Nico says when he fails. Could have been worse.
It's
Not sure
so
how,
true.
but it could have. That's a great
Nico.
one. But yeah, so they're not breaking in. Shay Vizla's here though; she can talk to us.
Ready when you are.
I like when she says "what."
Standing around rarely accomplishes anything.
Come on, give me the what.
I don't think so.
One more.
You waiting for me to put on
What?
a show? You waiting for me to put on a show? What?
There it is.
There. What?
What? You click on her, she goes, "What?" That's the best. All right.
I can relate.
So yes, crafting changes are coming. What else is coming
We did have
or came?
a game update, basically, game update 6.0.1, which had a long list of things in it. Of course, not the things that people wanted fixed, but a lot of things were fixed.
Not the things we deserve, but the things we need right now.
Right. So there's a lot of like UI fixes and tooltip and spelling fixes. The one I noticed that was now companions will no longer be killed by heroic transports, and I'm like, those our poor companions. That bug just keeps cropping up in different places. Like,
And I don't think it's
you
fixed.
see,
I think that's a lie. I don't think it's completely fixed. I was on
yeah,
Meksha today and yesterday, and Shay Fizla bit it at least a couple times. You just mount
I
up,
just
and then they come back. They pop right up.
right. It's not. It's just it's entertaining more than anything else. So yeah, there was that, and then yeah, a lot of different things. Something for almost every class, for items, for flashpoints and ops, different things that are fixed and tweaked. Um, it's a long list,
Yeah.
and there's more fixes to come in December.
Right.
They did note too that you probably will no longer run into hostile NPCs inside your headquarters in Odessen,
That was always a good one.
which was funny to me because like I was there, and I was talking to Sana Ray turning in some boxes, and then I hear in the background Shay going, not even a challenge. And I look, and like Lord Scourge and Kira are dead on the floor.
Shay, you wanna tune it down a notch there? These are part of our crew, you know.
Some adjustments to situations where things couldn't be looted or bosses weren't making drops, and it's a long list of things.
Yeah, there is more. I still, and I think there's maybe even things that aren't on their list that I need to submit as bugs and fill out. And I keep meaning to start making that list, and because there's little things that just seem they could be optimized. They're not game breaking, but there's plenty of things that we need to add to the list. What is game breaking is when the Tulak Horde server catches fire and
Oh my gosh.
and they can't put it out. I'm convinced that it's Sylvanas. She's set the Tulak Horde server on fire.
A WoW reference there.
Hey, because she burned the tree down.
She burned. Yes, she's a
'Cause
burner.
She burns things but now we know why. Spoilers. She wants to fill up the maw. Because that's what she's doing. But yeah, so Tulak Horde, they're still trying to fix it. In theory, during the downtime, the most recent downtime, they did some hardware updates or additional hardware updates or something like that to hopefully stabilize it. So hopefully you guys on Tulak Horde are having a little bit better experience today. Here's a good one. So what did Eric say about loot drops, Simo?
Oh, yes, loot drops. So he said they were. He kind of said both, that they were working as intended, but let us know specific situations where it's not working this way. But he explained how it worked, which is that if you have your loot set to a certain spec, or if you are that certain spec, the behavior should be exactly the same for loot drops.
Right.
Almost every source of loot that comes out of crates and drops should be on that system and should be for your spec. The only exception are very rare world drops of things. And it's possible, he pointed out, that which are normally, it's because they're world drops, they have a low chance of dropping off of anything. You will see them more on non-boss mobs, but it's not impossible for them to drop off of bosses. So yeah, so there's a thread, and he's asking for specific examples of where you got loot and where it came from that wasn't for your spec, and there's quite a few responses.
Yeah, and I think he's even understating that. There's also specific drops that come off of bosses that you roll on, right? It's you need or greed on it, and that is for everyone in the group, and that's supposed to be, uh, like tonight when we killed Koratani, she dropped a set piece for Juggernaut tanking, and yes, that's not for you. That's for
Right.
the group, and you can roll on it. And if you have no Juggernaut tanks in the group, then maybe everybody greeds on it and somebody gets it. I have not
He also
seen this bug that they're sort of describing, where I'm getting stuff that I shouldn't be getting except if it's that random stuff that sometimes shows up in a flashpoint, or the stuff you're rolling on off of key boss drops.
I mean, the other thing he explained too is that if you get something like I'm a bodyguard spec on my mercenary. If I get a drop that's for a general bounty hunter drop, that's
Mm-hmm.
still considered a correct drop for my spec, even though it'll work for all the bounty hunter specs.
Right.
It's just yeah.
Right, because there's
Um,
there's bounty hunter sets, and then there's bodyguard sets and arsenal sets and
right.
IO sets. And what you might get is a bounty hunter set, or there's actually 3 tiers of sets. There's everybody sets like amplified and victorious. There's class sets, and then there's spec sets. So yeah, I've not seen that. The bug that I see, which is not described in the post and is not referenced, and it maybe isn't a bug, is somewhat by design, but it seems a little buggy to me, is the level range. I sometimes feel like I'm getting gear at the level ranges that I should not be getting it at. For example, on my Vanguard, I was opening gear boxes that came out of GSF, and in theory should, when I opened it on my Merc, I was getting 306 gear, because again, Trescientos Seis Club. Just to let you guys know again. I'm making like such a big thing. People have been like 306 4 days after the expansion dropped, and here I am
Right.
like five weeks later making it like I'm awesome. I am not, to be clear. Oh, thanks Comcast. But what I do think is there are situations where I'm getting gear drops that are much lower than I would expect. I was getting
Right.
298 and 300 pieces out of a couple boxes, and I should not be getting that low. You will get it lower. You can get 304. You should certainly be getting a bunch of 304 pieces if you're 306, but you're not going to get 298 pieces.
Right.
And then it was a little weird in the story mode ops tonight. I got a lot of 302 pieces, and we didn't know if that was. I think there's 2 possible reasons for that. One, story mode content is going to have a little bit lower level range of stuff that it can give you. It's going to give you less of the, less chances for upgrades, but it will give you upgrades. So it could have been because that they expanded the level range. And the other thing that's a speculation, which I'm not completely sure on, is if you have a bunch of people in your group that are 290, it's gonna skew the level range a little bit. I don't know if that's exactly it either, though. But I was getting stuff level stuff that I wouldn't have expected, but maybe that's all by design too. So
That I don't know. That sounds like something people say.
yeah, the depending on who's in your group, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And maybe it's confirmation bias. Well, then I got all 306 people in my group, and then we got better gear drops. Well, yeah, is that really why though? I don't know. So
Right. I mean, I would be interested if people in the Theory Crafter Discord that you were talking about, if they say that,
yeah, people who have actually
because
scienced it up,
yeah, that
scienced it
looked at
in the
like
face.
overall numbers and stuff, and not just anecdotal.
Yeah. So they'll if you do notice legitimate bugs, submit them. They'll look it up. One legitimate bug that was submitted and has been discussed, and I think it is a bug. It's a design issue. This week's conquest objective is pirate incursion, right? I think that's
Right.
even what it's called. In theory, you should have the Dantooine. Besides just doing the weekly, you should have stuff around Dantooine, like dailies and heroics. They weren't supposed
Right.
to take those out of what you could do to get conquest points, but they did. And so either they took them out accidentally or they meant to, but then the whole idea of this being, pirate incursion week and having only one thing that applies to, Dantooine seems a little weak to call it pirate incursion week. So
It is a little bit hard to explain.
right,
It's baby pirate incursion
yeah,
week.
kind of pirate incursion week. So
Slightly pirate.
Eric's collected some feedback there, and we'll be looking into that on our behalf as well.
Let's see. Oh, there's going to be a maintenance. Oh, there was a maintenance.
That was today, yeah.
Yeah, that's one. That was to mainly to fix a problem in story mode instances where you could end up with getting infinite stacks. And I guess they mean, I don't know what stacks are referring to, but probably some stacks of stuff that increase your stats and your defenses and stuff.
Right. I didn't like the language in this post all that much, where it said, what were the parts I didn't like? No, I mean, they're not banning anybody or suspending anybody, so it's fine. But they said to address an exploit, and it said to address an exploit where players were able to do a thing which caused them. Yeah, it's not in this one, but it was in the other one too.
Okay, it's patched specifically to address an exploit, stats stacking almost infinitely in story mode ops, and to continue to address connection issues with Tula Core. That's what it was for today.
Yes, and I
So
think in the patch notes, then there was an additional comment that said players were taking action uh, to increase their stats beyond where they were expected. Blah blah blah, something like that. And players weren't doing it. Nobody was. I saw this happen. This happened to us in Scum and Villainy. This is why I don't want to. Don't call me an exploiter. It happened to us in Scum and Villainy. We had no idea what was going on. We didn't know if the scaling was off or what was happening. Nobody did anything to make it happen. Nobody was taking an action to bump up something.
right, like we weren't
We all of a sudden
repeatedly doing
seemed to
something
just
or standing in a weird place or
right.
anything like that.
So we weren't
just
taking advantage of anything.
In fact, we didn't. Yeah, we're like standing there fighting Styrak, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Hey, is anybody taking any damage? We're not taking much damage. I'm standing in the spikes and I'm not taking any damage. What is going on? I guess the scaling's really off here. Wow, this is kind of weird. But if you ran into the little force field when Styrak goes into that square that gets smaller and smaller and smaller, that still kills you. And if you stand in the
Does it? Did you test that?
it was tested. Let's just put it that way.
Okay. It has been. It has also been scienced out.
So it's fixed. Great. And finally, I wanted to remind everyone, if you log in anytime between now and December 10th, it goes all the way to December 10th. in honor or as a shout out to the Fallen Order, Fallen Jedi Order, the other cool game that's out, which I haven't gotten yet, but I'm sure I will, especially now with the holidays coming up and the kids are going to be out. My kids are older, but we'll hang out. We'll play some of it on the Xbox. I don't play a lot of single player games, but everybody's loving it. I'm interested in Fallen Order. If you log in between now and December 10th, anytime into the game, you then qualify for the RE1 mini pet, which is the little replica of the little Fallen Order companion that your little Jedi that helps you out along the way, little utility pet that comes along with you. You get one of those in game, and it's kind of cute. So once you qualify for it, so if you log in anytime, once you qualify for it, then every character in your account will be getting it. And I think even it's going to be one of those things that every time you create a new character, it'll show up on all those new characters as well. So it's not like you have to log in every single one of your characters right now today. There he is, the RE1 Scout Droid. Its animations are good. It matches sort of the cuteness of the way it works in the Fallen Order game. So that's cool. Community news. Marcus moved our mega event. So that's our monthly Epic Guild activity for AIE Guild, aie-guild.org. Come check us out. Come join our guild. He moved our monthly event to tomorrow night. So if you're hearing this Friday, November 22nd, if you're downloading this by the time I get it out in the middle of the day tomorrow, you'll have a couple hours still that you can join us at 8 p.m. Central on the Starforge server. It's open to anybody. I think we're going to be doing 6.0 related stuff. It's going to be a relatively big group, and we'll get out there and we'll have fun. Who knows what we'll do. Marcus said we'll do some 6.0 stuff. So great. Oh, and I have an update on this next one. So this is more just a shout out to the taco team. Seema, you do not need to request them to get a DPS because they got one. So I'll take that one then. So so we're getting more and more ops teams that are joining the guild roster. There's a new team on Sunday nights. They had an open spot, but somebody jumped in, and we've got that now covered. So keep an eye out. A lot of our teams, though, do need subs from time to time. And I did get an update on what TACO stands for. Total Annihilation Clearing Ops. That's what it stands for. But it's good times. It's fun times for them. Another news item, we instituted a notification system. So this is common in a lot of Discord servers. There's a bot that you can add, or a couple different kinds of bots that do this. They allow you to click emojis on a particular bot post that actually adds you to a role behind the scenes, so that when that role is added, is included in a message with @role in the message, then only the people that have opted in to be part of that role get a server notification. We're now using that across the divisions in the AIE Discord. If you would like to get SWTOR notifications, AIE SWTOR notifications, go into our Discord, go into the welcome channel. You'll see the post in there. Click on the little SWTOR emoji underneath that notification description post down at the bottom of that welcome channel. That's a cool thing. All right, and Seema, you want to do our shout out to the chat room here, who've been awesome tonight? Seema, are you there? Because I do not hear you. Hold on a second. Hello? Seema is typing. Not sure why you cannot hear me. Let's disconnect and reconnect from our broadcast Discord. How about now? All right, there we go. Technical difficulties. Hold one moment. Hello? Nope.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. There we go.
I've been trying to interrupt you for like 10 minutes.
Well, I was, and I was like pausing and waiting. And I'm like,
I know.
all right, I
And I
guess
would try
I'll
to jump
talk
in, and you would
more.
like, I guess I'll take this one. I'm like, no, I can take it.
All right, I hear you now. So sorry.
Alrighty, so
Yeah.
chat out, shout out to the chat room. Thank you guys for coming, and giving us feedback on our sound and keeping us honest. We really super appreciate you.
Yes. Thank you very much. That's a big help. And with that, Jacaro, what do we got tonight?
He mustn't get another chance to betray us. Shoot him already.
I don't know why I picked that one. Do I have a better one than that? How about this?
Bounty hunting is a complicated profession. Would you agree?
That awesome sound means now we're going to talk about The Mandalorian. No. we have to create a separate podcast. I just want to talk about The Mandalorian more. Tomorrow, another episode coming out. Woohoo! My daughter, my daughter texted me yesterday in the middle of the day. I told her we should watch The Mandalorian. I tried to get her to watch it the other night, and she had a thing she had to go off to. She texted me like from the school parking lot. She said, what episode are you up to? I've got to catch up. I've got to see this thing. So I won't spoil it, but you know what thing. That the very end of the episode, the cutest thing ever. You know.
Yes.
She's like, I heard about this thing. I've got to see this thing. So now she's caught up because she wanted to see the thing. Anyway, we are not talking about The Mandalorian tonight. Tonight we are on Odessin, and we will be on Mek-Sha a little bit. We are talking about what I'm calling the third most important thing to do in your journey to Trescientos Club, to join me. Should I read my stats? I did not yet read my stats. But the third most efficient and important thing that you should do is the dailies on Onderon and Mek-Sha. So it's 2 heroics on Mek-Sha, and it's a series of dailies on Onderon. So that's what I'm going to break down for you a little bit. I'm going to show you what I did in my spreadsheet that talks about which of the dailies you should bother to do on Onderon and how you should go about doing them. I'm going to show Seema here how you should get it done. They're slightly different on Imperial versus Republic, so we'll talk a little bit about that as well. And why do I say it's the third most important thing that you should do? And maybe fourth if you want to throw operations in there, but number one, you should do one random Master Mode flashpoint each day. Get a group together, a group with a healer, a tank, and 2 DPS, group that works well together. Do one random flashpoint a day. Make sure you do 3 during the week. You get really good rewards from doing that. And then the drops coming from the Master Mode flashpoint are really good too. And if you just did a few flashpoints, even after the first one without the daily reward, you're getting good stuff on all the boss drops. So that's number one. Number two, I would say just anything that's going to get you to your conquest target, because you want to do conquest to help out your guild also, but the conquest reward is a nice gold box as well, and you're just going to just sort of get it along the way, so you might as well get that. I've been doing conquest on a handful of characters, probably 4 to 5 characters a week, because I like that as well. Then number 3, dailies. So here, let's take a look over here. We're going to come over here, and I'll show you why. So there's a daily meta daily. So there's a bunch of dailies. Then there's the once a day doing the patrol. The patrol Onderon says do 6 dailies. And when you do that, you get a purple daily equipment crate, which is good. And it's got like 4 gear pieces in it that, good chance of upgrades. And then if you do the weekly, which is to do 10, then you get the gold crates. So there's different sort of levels of these crates. There's renown crates, and those are sort of the lowest level. Then there's blue crates, which you could get like from doing a GSF match. Then there's Then there's the purple crates, which are pretty good, and you want to get those. You can get those off of doing either of the 2 heroics on Meksha or the 6 daily meta daily on Onderon. And then there's the weeklies, which is the Onderon do 10 dailies and you get the weekly. These are good. There's a lot of good stuff that comes out of them. You want to do these. You'll want to do them on as many characters as you can as well, but you only need to do it. Well, you can do the 2 heroics, the Meksha heroics every day, and then you only need to do the. I would only do the 6 daily on Onderon twice during the week, and then that will also get you the weekly, which will get that done as well. So Seema, you said you've not done them yet, have you?
That is correct, sir. I have not.
Okay. To kick it off and to do it on any character, you need to finish the story, which includes the solo mode operation.
Flashpoint, which I
did.
did.
The flashpoint, the meridian, whatever they
This
call
is just one of those things I've been meaning to do. I just haven't gotten to it yet because I've been like leveling other characters to 75 and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And you can level them, and I've done this with a bunch of characters too. I've leveled them to 75, then I've stopped, and you can't do the dailies until you take them through the rest of the story.
Yes, same. Yeah. I have a bunch of them and they're like 73 and they're standing in the middle of Meksha where I left them when they got to 75.
Right. When you do finish them off and you do take them through the story, you will get 2 lead-in quests. One that says, go visit the mission board on Meksha, and another one that says, go visit the mission board on Onderon. When you do that, then you'll see all of these dailies. You can get...
So you...
Go ahead.
You can do the weekly on Onderon without doing any heroics.
Yes.
Is what I'm hearing.
There are no heroics on Onderon. Correct.
Right. Okay.
Onderon is just regular
Sweet.
dailies. And you could do the weekly in one day. There's 10 dailies on Onderon that you can do. There's 8 on the board. So if you see here, there's 8.
Yeah.
And then there's 2
I see.
dailies that come from
That you just...
2 NPCs. There's an NPC standing over here that'll give you one. And there's an NPC standing over here, which will give you one. It's slightly different in a slightly different configuration because remember we're at the hunting lodge on the Imperial side. On the Republic side, you're in Isis, the town. So but still, it's 2 NPCs, or it's actually sort of a different board and an NPC on the Republic side, and then the main mission board has the main 8. What I did for fun and profit the first day. When I was messing with the dailies and knowing that I was probably going to want to potentially do the dailies, I created a spreadsheet, of course. Here's a view of my spreadsheet, and let me spread this out. I did all of the dailies, and I did all of the heroics on Meksha. I did them on both sides, and I did them by starting at the mission board, doing them one at a time. And most of this was sort of the first time I did it, so you could potentially even get more efficient than how I did it. But I tried to do it to see what it was like to do it. Were there any bonuses? What were the rewards that were coming out of it? And I gave them each a rating of easy, medium, or hard. So once I was done with that, I was able to say, if I'm going to do the 6 dailies twice, what are the easiest 6 dailies for me to go after that sort of work and synergize well together on the Imperial side and then on the Republic side? So here, if I filter down and I say, forget about the Republic, just show me Imperial, what are the ones that I've tagged only on Onderon? So let's get rid of the Meksha ones. And let's get rid of all of those. Here are the 6, which I tagged. If I was going to be doing them, I'll talk about one other that you could mix in here potentially as well, but these are the ones that I like. I like Tamed, Recording History, Good Hunting, Rooftop Rumble, Proving Your Worth, and To Catch a Killer. So 4 of these come off the board, and 2 of them come off the NPC. To Catch a Killer comes from the NPC, and Rooftop Rumble comes from the board. Those two happen in the town here. They're fast and easy, and you do them without even leaving the town, without even leaving the hunting lodge town.
And so
But
the
once.
reason you're doing 6 twice is that you get the daily patrol
Right.
mission done twice,
Right.
and that completes the weekly.
Right. Right. Because you sort of, I mean, you could do 10 in one day, but then you're sort of wasting it, and might as well get
Right.
and
you might as well do
two
the
purple
ones you
boxes and a
prefer.
gold box by spreading them out
Yeah.
over 2 days. And I'm just gonna, if I'm out there and doing the 2 Rooftop Rumble, and then I got to do 2 more to pick up the other 2 and make it into 6, you're out there anyway. So if I pick these up, I'll show you what it looks like on my world map. Then the other thing I looked for when I try to do this kind of thing is the ones that synergize well together. So here I'm going to pick up what I need: tamed, recording history. That's a macrobinocular scan thing. It's really fast. Good hunting, which is you just need to go kill 2 things. And Rooftop Rumble, which I love because you get to climb a ladder and go on a roof. And then I go over talk to this guy, and I get, I think this one is to catch. No, this one's proving your worth, I think, which is.
Sir, we have a delicate situation.
Yeah, so
and
this
we
is
have
proving your
able-
worth, which is go talk to the what are those untamed guys? The sort of the savage guys out in the forest, the beast mastery guys.
Yeah.
That's one, and there's 2 that you end up
Commander,
doing right
pardon
there.
my interruption.
Blah,
We
blah, blah.
have a
And this
small
is the
crack.
assassination one. So yeah,
One of the king's. We're
spacebar, blah 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 blah. He tells you there's an assassin in town,
we can.
and you should go punch the assassin in the face. And I say, can do. All right. So now if I hit M, you'll see there's 2 that I can do right in town, and then the 4 that I'm doing out of town, I need to do a quick kill 1 creature here, kill 1 creature here. I need to quick travel to a couple points to get these scans, but it's only 4 things you're scanning. And then right here, you'd need to light the flame in the untamed territory and do 2 things in the untamed lair. So it's
Sweet.
sort of like a quick sweep. You get them done. You go out there. You go do it. It goes pretty quick.
Did you see
like it.
Wags just said in chat you can scan the untamed base from the roof of the rooftop rumble place.
Yeah, you can that untamed base you can scan from half the planet. I didn't even realize that, but you're absolutely right. It's huge. It's like the whole top of the mountain is carved into this skull thing with fire coming out of it. It's really cool. And Izes itself, you're scanning the big tower in the center of Izes, the town. That can be scanned from pretty far away as well. The ones that can't be scanned from far away are the arch in front of the little quest area by the Republic Forward Operating Base, and then there's a statue of Freedon Nad that's over by the ancient Sith crypt. But they're like a 5-10 second ride from the quick travel point. This one you're gonna go near anyway to lure and kill the one thing you gotta kill. It's easy and no problem. The only one of these that takes a couple extra seconds is the one of the untamed ones that I'll talk about in a second. So yeah, what were you gonna ask?
I was just gonna say Sir Galahad would like you to put that together in a PowerPoint presentation.
Do not
The list of quests,
tempt me.
missions.
I
Yes.
live in PowerPoint as well, just as much as I live in Excel. Ask my officer team across the AIE Guild. I have.
Yes.
They get a PowerPoint presentation every time we have an officer meeting. No joke. The one that takes a little bit longer, the only one that you have to kill more than like one thing, is in the Untamed Lair. The slightly longer one is not. It's not proving your worth. It's the Tamed. You need to go in there. You need to kill like 4 or 5 packs of trash and 3 beasts at the end. And the bonus is to unlock a few cages. But the whole thing, where's my timing, which I also put into here. The whole thing still only took about 5 minutes. Even the first time I ever did it, it only took about 5 minutes. And doing the bonus nets you 15,000 credits and an extra 4,800 renown points. I'll put this spreadsheet up somewhere. I promised to do that. I'll put it on newoverlords.com and link it somewhere. Do not bank on my numbers here for renown and for, in fact, if you look here, look what I did for rewards. Renown rewards, somewhere between 9,400 and 18,500 renown points is what you're going to get. The reason for that is if you have a boost on or if you don't, if it's light 5 or if it's not, if you've got an amplifier and the amplifier is mission rewards, it's going to change it as well. To try to figure out the math of what the base amount is, I didn't even want to start. You're going to need a quantum computer to narrow that down. That's just getting crazy. So you're going to get some nice amount of points for them regardless. But yeah, so that's cool on Onderon. So let's talk about Mech Shah, but then maybe we can come back to Onderon and I can show you what a couple of these look like if we've got a couple free minutes.
Okay.
Because I love the rooftop rumble in particular. Maybe we'll come to that as to finish it off. But next, let's go to Mech Shah because that's slightly different and that works slightly differently. So Mech Shah currently has 2 heroics, and they're heroic 2+. So it's sort of designed for 2 people to do. I solo them, and I solo them all the time. They're hard. They're hard to solo, but have a 50 influence companion, use your heroic moments, CC, do those kinds of things, and you can mostly get through it. The Republic side I found to be slightly longer and slightly more challenging than the Imperial side. But even when I was at 270 gear level, I was doing it with a 50 influence companion, but I was doing it on my mercenary with a CC in each of the trash groups. So there's 2 heroics that you'll encounter here, and let me name them here on the Imperial side. So let's get all of these, and let's just look at the Mech Shah. Yeah. Junking Jot's crew and Matter of Respect. Matter of Respect is quick and easy. Junking Jot's crew is longer and has 3 parts. So the mission board currently has just one of the heroics on it. That's Junking Jot's crew. In December, we're going to get some more heroics on here. So it's going to be interesting. We'll see what that does to this. Keep an eye out for that in December. But currently there's only one, and that's Junking Jot's crew. Junking Jot's crew has 3 parts, sort of 3 rooms you need to go into, and 2 packs of mobs in each of those little instance areas, and they're kind of hard. So we'll talk about that in just a second. And then down the hill here, this is different on the Republic side. These are definitely faction-based. But on the Imperial side, you talk to this brother's messenger here. He gives you a different one, which is called blah, 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 Matter of Respect. This one has you pick up 2 data pads that are laying on the ground, and their location shifts slightly, but they're all sort of in a similar area. And then you go fight just 1 group of a champion and 2 elites. So 2 golds and a champion. So that one's fast. So here, follow me, Seema. Let's go to Slugfall Cantina quick travel point. And I'll show you how I go about doing this relatively quickly. There's a little bit of a glitch in this one though also. So you find the 2 data pads. Then you need to go across one of the bridges.
I think I heard Shea Vizsla expiring.
Yeah, this is where she dies, right here. I told you. Look, there she is. She's dead. They said they fixed this.
Yeah,
they did not. Both Shea Vizslas. There's 2 Shea Vizslas stacked up there. They're both dead.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yep.
Oh, Shea. Alas, poor Shea Vizsla. I knew her well. But you mount up, and she pops up. She's back. She's back alive. Anyway, come up here into the cantina. We're gonna grab a drink. Remember, free drinks in the cantina off the bar. I noticed there's more of the free drinks actually spread around Meksha and some of the other like little side hallway cantinas. So come over here. We're gonna grab a drink first, and then I'll show you where the first data pad is. Don't mind if I do.
Thanks.
Thanks. Thanks for trusting me. Thanks for
Thanks.
buying me a drink. Shut up, Nadia. Where's my shut up, Max? Oh, I didn't put that on the soundboard yet. I'm gonna have to put that in. All right, here's the first data pad. So you come over here. Crap, where is it? Here it is. It's on. So the way they did these is they move a little bit. So there's a data pad. Sometimes it's there. Sometimes it's on this little crate. Sometimes it's over here on the bar. You find the first data pad, and that's step 1. And then you go over by the market, which there not much happens in the market. Maybe they're adding another heroic that involves the market a little
Can
more
we
directly.
get a croissant and some coffee?
Well, let's see, because there's a console which will give you a deal of the day that you can click here, and maybe it is for a croissant. So let's see here. What is my deal going to be? Meksha Ultra deals. Watch this. Don't forget souvenirs, Hut Fall memorabilia available now at the bazaar. What did you get, Seema?
This week, half off overnight pods at the Friendly Frond.
There you go. I find that very amusing. It does nothing, but it's awesome. Meksha is the best planet ever. So here in this area, tucked around these corners somewhere, you'll find the second data pad. Here's stash data pad. I found it here. Click that. Now this says defeat the Jedi investigators. First, for whatever reason, I don't know if this is a bug or what, but you gotta go across the bridge here, and you just have to hang out here for a second, and sometimes you just have to fight. If you aggro this trash, you gotta fight it. Oh, is somebody shooting you? Yeah, see, somebody's shooting you. I'm gonna kill them. And a lot of times there's mobs that come up from below. But these are just sort of like trash mobs. You do get an achievement for killing a bunch of these dire skulls, so you'll get that eventually as well. But then it triggers after you kill some of this trash. Sometimes you can do it without killing anything. You'll trigger the next step, which is to go kill that champion and elite that I was talking about. So like here, come stand like. Dang it! I'm like aggroing everything possible. I never have to kill this much stuff over here.
And stay down.
Why did this not trigger this time? Yeah, usually I just walk here. And it triggers. Do you see that little mark on the map?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not triggering, but maybe because we're in a group, it's like getting a little more specific, and we'd have to actually go in there. So that makes a little more sense. On the Republic side, the Republic sort of equivalent of this, you certainly have more steps that you need to worry about. So maybe that's making more sense to me now. Yeah, because this is not triggering for me here.
More free drinks.
Chat room's asking if anyone found the world boss on Mech Shah. Yes, the world boss is not difficult to find. The world boss... is he here? He's in the... No, I think he's in... I think he's over by the boardwalk, by Burzo's Wells. He's just he's the Dread Pirate that hangs down... yeah, down here and there's like a lower area under the bridge where you can walk down these two walkways in the middle of Renegade's Run in Burzo's Wells. He's called the Dread Pirate something, and he walks around down here, and he's a badass. He will mess you up, man. And when you go down there, fire appears on the two walkways, so you can't like run out and walk away. You will not survive. Anyway, we don't have to do this whole thing because it's not triggering. But see, that person, they did it and they triggered. So they're going. So once it triggers, then you need to go to the next spot, which is, I think that is over by Burzo's Wells. And you walk into a small instanced area. You kill the champion and the 2 elites that I mentioned, and you're done. So that one's not a problem. Now go back to, and I'll show you. If you have it, do you have Back Alley Med Center? That's sort of in the northeast, just south of the red zone.
Yes.
Carroll Point. So go to that one, and then I'll show you where Junker Jots one starts. And we'll walk in there, and I'll talk about why that one's difficult, a little bit more challenging. The 3 mobs for the Matter of Honor, it's a champion and 2 elites. They hit kind of hard. You need to use a heroic moment or do a CC. On my Vanguard, I could just tank them and kill them all. It was slow because he was tank spec'd, but it might be difficult if you're in lower gear. I'm not going to say it's super easy. So here's the first entrance to the first one. Do not take one step in the green force field here, Seema, and not a step further. Because if you see, the mobs, they're like right there. So there's a healer, it's the medic, and there's 3 mechanic droids. 3 of the Jots crew droids. So there's 2 packs in here. It's the first pack is 3 mechanic droids and the medic. You need to kill the medic first, and then the 3 droids are pounding on you. They hit kind of hard, but they're only strong, so they're not even elites. You got to kill them. Then around the corner, a little bit further down beyond, it's a similar pack and a named guy. So what it's asking you to do in this little instance area is kill the named guy. So it's saying defeat Technician Sandow. And then sabotage the atmosphere control unit. And then there's a couple other consoles in here. You can blow up those consoles for the bonus. You might need a CC. You might need a CC Technician Sandow to kill that group. You definitely want to kill the healer to get that done. Use a couple cooldowns. Use your heroic moment. For Junking Jot's crew, you're clearing this little room. You're going around the corner and you're clearing a second room that's, a little bit different configuration, but again, sort of like 2 packs of mobs. And then you're going around the corner again and into a third room of 2 packs of mobs like this. You're going to aggro all these droids, Seema. You're like dancing around a little bit there. So
I got some renown points though.
You did? How did you get renown points? What the heck?
I guess by making that little step forward, I discovered it.
Oh, you discovered it. So these heroics on Mech Shot, they're harder. But remember, for each of the heroics that you complete, each one gives you a purple crate itself for each one. So you can do both of them every day. You get one of those purple daily equipment crates. It's kind of worth it. And if I was just gonna pick one thing to do, I would do one of these and not the Onderon thing. Because the Onderon thing, you got to do 6 to even get the 1 crate. Here, you just do 1 heroic and you get a crate. So that's my rundown, Seema. that's my basic rundown. Let's go back to Andron while we wrap
Okay.
up here. But
Yeah, let's go climb a ladder.
and we'll climb the ladder and we'll do rooftop rumble to finish us off. But that's why I like it. They're not hard. They're not hard to do, and you get those big gearboxes, and you pretty good chance of getting an upgrade out of those gearboxes. So it's kind of worth it, if you know what I mean.
I'll give it a shot,
All right.
she says every week.
To She says with no intention to actually do the dailies, just to appease
I have
Matt.
every intention. It's just, well, just. I have every intention.
You know, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, or so I've heard.
Where'd you go?
Just to the
Hunting lodge.
hunting lodge. Yeah.
Hunting lodge?
Yes.
Yeah.
So follow me, and I'll show you the two in town, because they're both real easy. These first two.
Follow me if you want to live.
Follow me if you want to live. I will be back here another time. I will come back here at some other point in
Some other later moment.
So here, this is not rooftop rumble. This is the assassin. You're looking for evidence. This circle on the ground, that's evidence. So you click on the circle as you're going. So you click on the first circle.
Oh, sweet.
And then the second one, you go down here, and there's an astromech. These change locations. The circles in the astromech, the smoking astromech, change locations. But this is the second piece of evidence, and then there's like a third piece of evidence that you look for. But before you get to the third piece of evidence, you go to this ladder over here, and you climb up, and you do rooftop rumble. Wait, where did it go? Where's my ladder? Wait, go back up. Did I miss it? Over here? Why am I'm lost. Over here? Here it is. Oh, here it is. Rooftop rumble. Climb the ladder.
I love that ladder.
That is the best. See? That's great. And then you kill one single mob up here. Sometimes it's a strong, sometimes it's just a normal mob. You click on the dead drop materials in that pot. You click this, you just kill this one guy.
Not even a challenge.
Not even a challenge. You loot him. He gives you the communication protocols. You walk down, you go to this other roof. You click this, then you have to kill 3 mobs. Sometimes they're strong, sometimes they're normals. Go ahead, you click that, Seema. 2 on the right, 1 on the left.
And stay down.
And then as soon as those 3 mobs are dead, you click on this tower again, and it's done. Click. And then this is the only one that you have to go back to the hunting lodge, and you have to turn in. All the other ones that I put into the list, they complete automatically.
Gotcha.
And then did we skip the other evidence? Because usually if I've done it correctly, yeah, here's evidence. And then the last piece of evidence is right down here. You jump off the roof, right down to it. So it's 4 pieces of evidence, and then you walk right in this doorway, you kill one guy, you kill the assassin, and the second one's done. See, there's the assassin. This assassin, he keeps trying to cast like a electro dart, a 4-second cast electro dart. If you interrupt it, you take 0 damage. Just shoot him, and when he's at like 1 second to go on his 4-second cast, interrupt him, and he'll try to cast it again. He'll never get a cast off. He does 0 damage to you. But there, see, that one completed automatically, and now you've got 2 done. Here's your 2 out of 6.
Nice.
Nice. All right.
Nice.
So that is that. as I said, fun stuff, easy, quick, and you get some big gear crates, and you'll get well on your way to your journey for 306. And if you're already 306, I still like to do them because I'm trying to get extra tech fragments, and so I do a little bit of disassembly, and once in a while out of those crates, you can even get a set piece. So great.
That would be nice.
All right.
Got that going for you.
So that's what I got for y'all today. And with that, I think we'll kick our EPC 318 droid out in airlock here and broadcast this podcast to everybody, set us up for the week. Please keep up with us on Twitter at MaxTheGray and at AIESEMA. And if you know any cool people that should be playing the game with us, tell them to come find us on Starforge. That's the name of our server, right? I almost said Jedi Covenant.
Right.
Tell them to come find us on Starforge. Find our guild at aie-guild.org. At our guild website, you can get a link to our guild Discord. You can jump in there. You can use our new notification system to sign up for notifications for cool stuff we're doing in the game. You can ask us for a guild invite, and we will get you set up. We'd love to have you come and play. And we will talk to you soon.
Later, everyone.